Bro, man, you're doing incredible things online, man. I just so I'll just dive right into it, man. Like you're the way you tie the gospel into helping people quit pornography has never been done before. I think you're making history, honestly, just by what you're doing. You're helping a lot of people. You've helped what 1,000 people already quit
hmm
porn.
Yeah, around there. Like within TRF, there's like a couple hundred. Within Instagram, um, there's at least 1,000 more. It's cool because like a lot of guys they quit, but like sometimes they tell me, sometimes they don't tell me. They tell me like a very long time later. So it's like if we tally all the guys together, it's at the very minimum 1,000.
Wow, that's
hmm
incredible, bro. So how I'm curious, the first time you started talking about pornography like publicly, like pornography and masturbation, like the first time I talked about it publicly, like on Instagram, for example, I was just like nervous, bro. I was just like, so I'm curious, take me back to that first time you started like talking about it publicly and how that went.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, um, it's interesting because I actually quit PMO June 20th. That was 2020. I think that was the year. And a week or two after me quitting, I actually was making videos on my YouTube and just like kind of sharing a little bit my journey and stuff like that. And I just kept on doing that for like a while. And then I made it to like 90 days and like I was posting pretty consistently. And then I made it to like 6 months and stuff like that. And I was just posting consistently on my YouTube, but I didn't really like I didn't have much traction on my YouTube videos. It was just they weren't even good. Like I was looking back at some of them and like they were. I mean, they were okay. Um, I don't really think too many people were watching them back at the day. Um, but it was really good for me because like it gave me like I don't know, like give me like something to do while like I was like quitting porn and also kind of like it gave me like more so accountability because I'm like, how can I make these videos if like I'm relapsing or like if I slip back, like I can't do that because I have this YouTube channel. So it was just more accountability for me. But the very first time I talked about it, it's very like nerve wracking, but at the same time, it's like I've noticed that the more you talk about like this subject, which is like pornography, obviously, um, the more that you get like desensitized to it, right? And like the more you just talk about it, the more comfortable you are with talking about it. Which I've seen it to be very powerful though, because a lot of people, obviously, they want to quit pornography and masturbation. And the people that I've seen to be struggling the most are the people who are the most nervous about talking about porn, right? But the people who are the most free, they're the most like likely to talk about it and like bring it up and not really be like ashamed to talk about it. Um, so that's why, like, I say this all the time on Instagram, but just like talking about it more and just like being in that conversation with it is, always super helpful. But I'll say one more thing too. I remember like I was like kind of like a baby Christian at the time, so I've been a Christian like my whole life, but um, it wasn't until I started the program where I actually started like taking things seriously, and I got like my first ever like conviction from the Holy Spirit around. I think this was like November or something like that. November, like 3, 4 years ago, and God was basically showing me to create this program, right? This putting porn and masturbation, and He was guiding me to this, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because it's like, what are my friends gonna think about me? Like, what is my family gonna think?
What do you think is the key to quitting? Because you've helped 1,000 people now, so they won't even realize that, like, it's
Mm-hmm.
you. You know what I mean? Like your stuff pops off, bro. So, but how would you say you quit pornography and
Mm-hmm.
masturbation?
Yeah, so there's definitely like there's definitely a lot of things that like have worked for me. And I just like combine like a lot of things together. I think it's like a lot of people they have like this misconception that there's like one thing that'll like cure them or one thing that'll end like this addiction and like lust for the rest of your life, right? And that hasn't been the case for me for like thousands if not millions of people. I don't think there's just like this one thing, but um I guess like based on if I were to go back in time and like I was addicted 4 years ago, 5 years ago too. If I were to go back in time and tell that person, well, I wasn't even Christian back then, so I guess that's a first spot to start, you know. Um, Aside from that, if you're already Christian, if you already pray and read the Bible every single day, like if that's not in order, then like you need to do that first before even doing anything else. Um, I would probably say, you know, getting in community is very important. You know, like having other people that you can talk about. We were talking about earlier about like sharing this stuff with other people and like kind of, you know, talking about this subject and like, you know, resonating with other people on this and giving each other tips and advice. That is big. You know, getting good accountability, getting good community. A lot of guys though that they get community and like the community is not even good though. Like, you know, they tell their friend to hold them accountable. They tell their friend to do this and that, but their friend is still struggling with porn and masturbation, and it's like, how does that make any sense? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting mentorship, maybe be like a pastor, or like I don't know, someone in your life who is is already free from porn and masturbation. You know that they struggle with lust before, which is like 99.9% of guys have struggled with lust of some capacity of some sort. So yeah, getting someone to mentor you, finding community, finding accountability, and just talking about this as much as possible. I'd say that's good, you know, start for someone who's looking to quit.
So what makes you so passionate about helping people quit pornography, bro, and masturbation?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's actually pretty funny because like all my friends and like family and like they don't really understand that they don't they don't see like why it's like uh I guess like fulfilling or like why it's like even something that I like to do. Um, but for me, it was just something that like I quit and like my whole entire life changed. Like really, like everything in my entire life changed after like I quit pornography and masturbation. And I don't know. I think I really do believe it's from God though, where like He just gave me like this passion to do it because I do feel like it's like I was born to essentially do this, right? And like I don't know, like this is just something that I feel like is a strong calling from God, and He's given me this passion that maybe like other person's like, oh, like that guy's weird, like he talks about porn and masturbation like the whole entire day, right, and how to quit and stuff like that. But you know, another man's treasure is another man's trash, is another man's treasure, right? Like this is my treasure, and I really like doing it. Um, but yeah, like I quit, and like everything in my life changed, and I was like, oh, like other people need to do this. Like, why are people still watching porn and masturbating? Like, it makes no sense. So I started like posting more online, and like the amount of support I got when I went over to Instagram was insane. And I'm like, wow, like this is actually pretty cool. I like doing this, and like 2 years, 3 years later, like it's still like as cool, and I still enjoy it as much. So I'm just like consistently going.
That's amazing, bro. Dude, that's amazing. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm 21.
What, dude? That's crazy, bro. So, I mean, we don't have to get into obviously the finances too much, but you make, I mean, the program's like $1,500, right?
Yeah. Well,
And you,
so we had a high ticket program, and now we're doing a low ticket program, right? So this new TRF 2.0 program, it's gonna be 67 per month, right? Because like we've just noticed that like there's a lot of people from third world countries that like they can't get in at that like price point. You know what I mean? And I want them to get access to it. So we're doing a lower ticket program, and we're shifting things over to that. Um, but more information is gonna come on that pretty soon, in terms of like what that unveils and whatnot. But yeah, we're shifting over to more so like a low ticket program, like going forward. Hopefully, we can get like a lot of people in that, but I mean, we'll see. Time will tell.
oh yeah, I'm sure you will, bro. I mean, you got 1,000 people doing that one, right? Or like 600 doing the high ticket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure you can get that, bro. I love how you're entrepreneur minded and also mission driven as well. That's very rare. I feel like especially for our age group, like, um, so what what do you think holds people back from pursuing their dream and their mission? Not only their dream, but also like their mission and their purpose. Because you're going after it, bro. You're crushing it on Instagram. You're helping people, actually helping people, and you're making money while doing that. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool. I love doing this, and so the question was, what do you feel like holds people back from like pursuing their dream?
Yeah, what do you think holds people back from pursuing their dream and mission?
Okay, I think it's just like kind of like fear of man. Like I think a lot of times like we don't do things because like we're afraid to be called weird or like afraid to be called like this or that. Um, like for example, like I know a lot of people they want to become like YouTuber, influencer, or this or that. You know what I mean? Pretty much anything that like you can do, unless it's kind of like behind the scenes. But like I feel like a lot of people they care too much about what others think about them, right? And even if it's just like a conviction from God, like they don't do what God has told them to do. Um, that would definitely be number one. I think number two as well would be just too much comfort. I think a lot of people are like they don't have enough pain within their lives to like actually pursue something greater than like where they are right now. Like a lot of people are like and I used to be this way. I'm just talking to myself. If I were like 4 years back, like I think a lot of people are like super comfortable with their lives, which is like all fine. Like if this is what God wants you to do, then by all means. But I feel like a lot of people are like super comfortable with their lives and they don't have like the fire inside of them to like be like, hey, like I want to make a change and like I want to pursue this all the way. And I feel like I had that like when I was um, very young and I was doing the program for like the first time and I just like pursued it full time and I was working like even the summertime when the program was like peak um, 80-90 hours per week, something crazy like that, just like driven like super like I had no life whatsoever. I was just like working the program. But sometimes that's what it takes, you know what I mean, to like pursue your dreams all the way. um, and I work a little bit less now because I'm more so involved with I've just moved to San Antonio and I'm really involved with the church here and like I can't work that many hours. But it's a sacrifice that I'm more than willing to make. But yeah, that's what I would say. Like enough people like they don't have the drive or they don't have the like the pain, they don't have the motivation, and most of all, like a lot of people are way too fixated on what others are thinking about them when at the end of the day it doesn't really matter.
100%, dude. That's something that all successful people have in common that I've interviewed is like they have less fear of man, and like a lot of them, yeah. So I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, that makes so much sense. So who are some of your inspirations as far as like maybe some entrepreneurs or some pastors or yeah.
Mhm. Um, it's definitely changed. Um, I like so in terms of pastors, I like Isaiah Salvador. He's one of my favorites. Um, I like in terms of entrepreneurs. Um, it's really hard because there's not that many like kingdom-driven entrepreneurs per se. Like a lot of them are more so secular, which is fine. Like I feel like you can learn a lot from those people. Um, but like there's sometimes like where I'm watching them and I'm like, like I don't know if I want to continue listening to this, right? But I used to really like Alex Hormozy. He's really good in terms of like just like information and just like content. Um, who else too? But yeah, most of the people I look up to, Taylor Michaels, another one who I really like. They do like influencer, like Christianity, like I guess like that's what you can call it, evangelist. That's I think that's the best word to like describe them. Um, and they also kind of have like entrepreneur side, but a lot of it is more so like um, just like spreading the message, like spreading the good news, right? And stuff like that. So that's what I would say. Like I don't know if I would really like have like a hey like this is a person who I absolutely love in terms of an entrepreneur. But those would be like the people that are like I probably most admire within like entrepreneurship and pastors.
Hmm. Awesome, man. Heck
Mm.
yeah, bro. Yeah. So so what do you think drives you to work? Because most people can't like work 90 hours weeks. Like, I mean, I've worked a couple 100-hour weeks, and I'm just like I can't sustain it. So like, how do you? I mean, I talk to a lot of successful people, and they're like working hard is the key, and like so like how do you push yourself to work so hard? Like I know you said you pulled back a little bit, but
Yeah,
how do
yeah,
you push yourself so much?
yeah. I pulled back a lot actually. So right now I'm working like maybe 60 hours, somewhere around there, you know. Plus like pretty much being at the church every single day. So if you count that, it's still night. I just like to work. I don't know. Like, I feel like this is just how God has wired me, where it's like I just like to work and I like to do things. And I feel like that's actually what you get as well when you go away from PMO. And like the more you go away from PMO, like the more like work that you want to do, and the more driven that you are, versus when you're PMOing every single day, it's just more so like like I don't feel like doing anything, and like you're just motivation and ambition just shot, and like you just can't do anything. But when you're like when you don't go into PMO, when you don't think lustfully 24/7, like you're just a lot more focused and like you could just do better things. Um, but yeah, I just feel like that's just how God has like wired me, because I've always liked to work. Especially when it's something that I really like to do, which is like exactly what I'm doing right now, and um yeah, I always take Sundays off too, like I at least right now, like maybe in the past I used to work a couple of hours on Sundays, but I always make sure to take that one day off, because if I work every single day, it's definitely going to lead to a burnout for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I always make sure to take that one day off, and usually Saturdays I don't do a whole lot of crazy things. Like today was nothing too crazy. Today's gonna be a little bit more of an exception because I have like a big update for the program coming soon. So I'm just working on getting that out as soon as possible. But um, yeah, definitely waking up early also helps as well. I feel like if you wake up super late, I can't do any work very late at night. At least that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Appreciate it, bro. What do you love most about your job, bro? Because like you're doing a lot of things that are really making a difference in people's lives. What do you like most about the program, or just your job, just what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Hmm. Um, I like taking coaching calls, doing Bible studies with the program, and those are my favorite things to do. And then also, I love to make content. I think that's one of my favorite things to do as well. And then I like building, a little bit of like a team with like the coaches and whatnot, and also like making sure that they're like equipped to know that like how to like help people and stuff like that. So like transferring like, because I'm only human, you know what I mean, I can only do so many things. So it's just cool to see like the domino effect of like, okay, like I trained Coach Rye, but now he's helping like 100 more people, versus maybe my capacity is like 100 people, you know what I mean. So like I
Mm-hmm.
just doubled the people who I'm helping by training Coach Rye. I don't know, I find that like super fascinating, like I like doing that too.
Heck yeah. No, that's dope, bro. That's dope. Yeah, I truly believe this, bro. Like, just from what you're doing, I don't. There's very few people that are like I said, doing their mission, like doing true, like pursuing a mission like this deep. And I mean, you said 90% of um 30 under 30-year-olds watch pornography, right? Is
Yeah,
that on a
something around
weekly
there.
basis?
Like I don't know the exact statistic, but it's definitely somewhere 80 to 90%, um, on a weekly basis. Yeah, under 30.
So, so you've been like, I don't know. I just think it's so cool, man. I just want to acknowledge you for a second on just like what you've done, and what you're doing, because it's just incredible to like that. I think it's one of the biggest problems, and also, um, just you, um, yeah, I think it's one of the biggest problems, bro. And then you're taking on with the gospel mentality as well, not just like a worldly mentality, you know. Um, so like you're sharing the gospel, and also you're doing your mission, and then you're helping people quit porn, which is because yeah, it's just I just want to acknowledge you for that, bro. It's incredible. I love your content, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. And one more thing too, I found out whether there's like that weird staticky noise. I had like a stand.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
My bad, man. I
uh,
just thought it was me the whole time.
you're, um, but yeah, I really appreciate your time, bro. Is there so people can go check out your Instagram for more info on the program and stuff? The 2.0 is it?
Yeah,
The
for sure.
2RF 2.0.
And yeah, they can just go on my Instagram if they don't want to join the program, they just want to get motivation, get support. Like I post daily content. If you guys like need any motivation, encouragement, advice, I always post advice and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot more reels as well, where it's gonna be like tips and motivation, inspiration, and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys can check that out in the I don't know wherever you. I don't even know. But
Link in the description. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
but yeah, they can check out the Instagram and yeah, that'd be the best place.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, I really appreciate it, bro. And last question before we go, what's the impact you want to make on the world?
Mm. Impact I want. This is actually something that I've been like thinking about ever since a couple years ago, and I think the biggest thing that I want to do is not only like having more people become Christian and have like being saved, um, but just helping believers also like get free from pornography and masturbation and really like start a new movement where no one watches pornography and like goes back to masturbation because I mean it's kind of sad, you know what I mean? And where it's like, you know, there why are so many Christians going back to porn and masturbation? You know what I mean? I feel like so many people are being held back by their true potential. And it's like God is just like, I need people who are obedient. I need people who are gonna go all in, right? And I think pornography and masturbation holds a lot of people back. So that would be what I would say, like helping as many people as possible getting free from lust, and while doing that as well, also sharing the gospel, because there's a lot of people who struggle with porn and masturbation, and they're not believers, you know. So I hope to do that where it's like, oh, okay, like they came for porn and masturbation to get free from this, but in the process, you know, they were also saved as well, and they found that the gospel, and they gotta love, you know, to just keep on going further within their new relationship with God. So that's what I would say would be the impact that I want to make on the world. And you know, hopefully by the time I die, I don't know when the heck, it could be right now, it could be like tomorrow, right? But I just want to know that I did like the very best that I possibly could to, you know, get as many people free from porn, get as many people saved, and then yeah, I'm good.
Absolutely, bro. That's amazing, bro. That's an amazing mission, and you're doing a good job at it already, man. You've helped so many people, so keep it up, bro. And yeah, I appreciate your time, brother.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right,
All right, bye.
see you.